I am telling you, I am begging you to watch Worlds. And why is that? Why am I so passionate about you watching some hockey this summer that's not the playoffs? I'll tell you why coming up here on Locked on Blues.
You're Locked On Blues, your daily podcast on the St. Louis Blues. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello and welcome back to Locked On Blues. I am your host of Locked On Blues, Haley Taylor Simon, talking to you all things about our St. Louis Blues here on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. I hope everybody's having a happy Saturday. Why am I doing this on a Saturday and not a Friday? I got back from work last night around 7 p.m. I went to film, and you know what happened? I literally fell asleep because I had a 12-hour workday. But I am so happy to be here today talking to you about some Blues hockey. So everyone should be watching Worlds. I'll explain why. Grading Oscar Sundquist. It's always sunny in St. Louis. And then, of course, are we feeling blue? A lot to discuss on today's episode of Locked On Blues. But first, I want to tell you that today's episode is brought to you by Indeed. There is no I in team, but there is one in Indeed. And that's the hiring platform you need to build yours. So start hiring now with $75 sponsored job credit to upgrade your job. Post at Indeed.com/locked on. Terms and conditions apply. Need a hire? You need Indeed. Hello, and I am telling you right now to watch Worlds. Well, not now, watch the podcast and then go back and watch some Worlds. But the reason why is this. It's simple. You get to see Jordan Binnington. You get to see Joel Hofer. You get to see Kevin Hayes and Matthew Kessel. And you can also see my friend Colton Parayko on defense for Canada. So there is so many guys, 5 Blues players that you can see. And here's the thing. And I know I talked about this earlier in the week, but I miss hockey. How do you not miss hockey? I am craving some hockey, especially some Blues hockey. I was watching the playoffs last night, and I tweeted at Locked On Blues, and I said, I really miss Blues hockey, and Worlds has been my fulfillment. My goalie Tatum with a Binnington and a Hofer, they're still playing, which is really cool when you think about it. I got to watch some U.S. They're playing Germany today, USA versus Germany. And I got to see Kevin Hayes, which was really cool. It's so cool being able to watch your players that are not in the playoffs, but play hockey still. Maybe I'm grasping on for dear life for just any type of Blues hockey. And I think I am. How can you not be? I mean, the playoffs, and I'm not saying that they're boring. I think the first round of the playoffs were a lot more entertaining. But a lot of these games are just boring to me. You have the Panthers and Bruins, and the Panthers won the last 2 games in a blowout manner. Then you have the Rangers and Canes again. Boring because the Rangers are going to end up sweeping probably. I mean, the only really good series that you have the Stars and Avalanche, and then you have the Canucks and Oilers, which is entertaining. But I don't know. I'm like, playoff hockey, seeing my Blues players. And the nice thing is that it doesn't always overlap since some of these games are on during the day. So it's 2 o'clock. You get to put on some hockey and watch a couple of your guys from your team play. Not bad. Again, we have 2 players on the U.S. team with Kevin Hayes and Matthew Kessel. And then on the Canadian team, on Team Canada, you have Binnington, Hofer, and Parayko. And I think this just goes to show, and I know I graded Parayko earlier, but I think that he was a player that unfairly got a lot of hate. And not hate in a sense of, we hate you, Colton Parayko, but more hate in a sense of, he's not as good as he used to be. He's older, same old. But what the reality is, he led the NHL in block shots. He's such a good defenseman, and he wears an A for a reason, folks. He is a great hockey player. And besides him being a great hockey player, he plays for the Blues. And you should be watching and supporting him because it's an amazing opportunity to tell you. But no, I am encouraging everyone to watch Worlds. It's down in, I believe, Czechoslovakia. And I think the one interesting thing is, I know that these are exhibition games, and I know are they exhibition games now? I knew that earlier in the week they were. All I know is that it's going to end up probably being U.S. versus Canada. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised because that USA lineup is absolutely insane. So men's hockey worlds. So the IIHF. And the cool thing too, when you just really think about it, is that like there's just so much hockey. Today it was USA with 6 and Germany with 1 goal. Wow. So when I turned on, I knew that USA was up 2-0. So today it was Michael Esmont, which I knew, Trevor Zegras, Luke Hughes for Germany. I'm German, so hello, it's supposed to be Deutsch. Yazin Edlitz. And then it was Johnny Hockey, Michael Kessering, and Brady Kachuk. Huh. Now, I did not see anything about our guys. Like, I saw Hazy today, but because today's lineup, I'll tell you today's lines. I swear I saw Kevin Hayes. What if Kevin Hayes wasn't playing? Well, then that would be a little bit awkward. Oh, no, he was playing. So today it was Alex Lyon in net. Then you had Zach Bernski, Seth Jones. I like Seth Jones. Now, you can make an argument right now, right here, that we could try to get Seth Jones to be on our defense, but just I'm going to enjoy the game, but I'm also saying like it wouldn't be a bad idea. Okay. Then you had Johnny Gaudreau, aka Johnny Hockey, Brock Nelson, and Matt Boldy. Then you had Jake Sanderson, again, another great defensive player. Luke Hughes, again, we need more players like this. Brady Kachuk. Oh my God, I would have loved to have Brady Kachuk, and it's possible. Shane Pinto, Cole Caulfield. Then you had Alex Vlasic, Jeff Petrie, Joel Farabee, Will Smith, Trevor Zegras. And then in line 4, you had Michael Kessering, Michael Esmont, Kevin Hayes, Luke Kunin, and Ryan Leonard. You might be wondering, Hale, where was Matthew Kessel? Not in today. It happens. Okay. That's like the thing too, is that you have to remember that as much, as we love Kessel, and I really love Kessel, he's not going to be in the lineup, like that all the time. So I just wanted to put that out there. But yesterday, team, I'm going to give my love to my Canadians. And listen, this is like my like niche. I love this stuff. So Canada won 4-2 over the Great Brits. And guess what? Joel Hofer. That's so cool, right? So let me tell you about I'll tell you all about the game. Oh my goodness, yes. So you got to see Joel Hofer in that yesterday, which honestly, like, I was ecstatic. I literally loved watching this game. It was such a great game. But yes, it was a 4-2 victory. Oh my God, did I say yesterday? I mean today, y'all. I have not, I've been awake since like 3 a.m. So hear me out. But no, it was awesome. So anywho, let's go talk about the scoring. So yes, in the first period of play, you had interesting. Liam Kirk, an actual name of a player that I haven't heard of that I can actually pronounce the name of. I'll give it that. But they make it 1-0 for Canada. Then Michael Bunting makes it 1-1 tied. Okay, so that was the first period. You go to the second period. Then you have Brandon Hagel scored for Canada. And then you had Connor Bedard scoring for Canada. Betsy again, making it 4-1 Canada. The only time I feel like we're going to root for Bedard, right? And then you go to the final frame of hockey. And Ben O'Connor scores for Great Britain. And so that was the results of that game. So really cool. Oh man. Like if you think about it in a sense, right? And you just think about the fact that, Joel Hofer. Like, it's so cool. So upcoming will be Finland and Great Britain. And I'm not saying this in a bad way, but I feel like the only two teams, I know that we have some Swedish players, obviously, that we got, but the only two teams I truly care about are Canada and US, just because I'm a little biased, obviously. So that was a little recap. But yes, watch Worlds. Let me know if you're watching it too. I feel like I know this is a Locked On Blues podcast, but I feel like I can now talk a little bit about Worlds since our players are on the team. So I hope you enjoyed just some recapping of that. Okay. Before I grade Oscar Sundquist, I'm going to talk to you about my friends at Policygenius, okay? Policygenius is the country's leading online insurance marketplace. It saves you time and money so you can provide your family with financial safety net starting today. With Policygenius, you can find life insurance policies that start at just $292 per year for a $1 million coverage. Some options offer same-day approval and avoid unnecessary medical exams. Policygenius helps you compare options from top companies, and their team of licensed experts is hands-on, and it will help you through it all. So talk to a team award-winning agent who will walk you through the process step by step and easily compare quotes from America's top insurers in just a few clicks to find your lowest prices, okay? So check life insurance off your to-do list with no time with Policygenius. Head to policygenius.com/lockedonnhl or click the link in the description to get your free life insurance quotes and see how much you could save. That's policygenius.com/lockedonnhl. It is time to grade my friend Oscar Sundquist because it's always sunny. Now, I have a really big soft spot for Oscar Sundquist for a lot of different reasons. One, I'm a little biased. I am happy that he's back with the Blues. And he's just one of those guys. And I know, Hale, keep it hockey. And I do, okay? But I also feel like he's one of those guys that's just a good guy in the locker room. And I know it just, the whole injuries thing really sucked. It still sucks. I'm not going to deny that. But I just want to say that if there is one player on the Blues that I'm always going to kind of go for bat for, it's going to be Sonny. So that's why I have my sunglasses on today, actually. I was hoping someone would address it because it's sunny. Get it? Like, sunny. It's sunny. Oscar Sundquist. Get it? Okay. No? Okay. So, anywho, let's go talk about his season. He played in 71 games. Of course, the injury happened. With 6 goals, 15 assists, with a total of 21 points, and he was -6. But let's, take a look back at some of his previous seasons. So, Oscar Sundquist has been through it. I mean, last season he was with the Red Wings, and then he was with the Wild for literally 15 games. But he played 52 games with the Red Wings with 7 goals and 14 assists. And then with the Wild, he had 3 goals and 4 assists. So you combine the two, you combine 21 and 7. He had 28 points last season, a little bit more than this season. But again, he's been through it because in 2021 and 22, he was with us and the Red Wings. And he played 41 games with us, 18 games with Detroit. Again, 4 goals for both teams. So 8 goals total, 11 assists for the Blues and 4 assists for Detroit, giving him 15 points for the Blues and 8 assists for Detroit that season. I feel like Sonny really and I love him, and it's not his fault, but I feel like he's just really been through it with, getting traded, and it's just the inconsistency. So let's go, obviously, reminisce on our cup run. He played 74 games that season, 14 goals, 17 assists, and 31 points. And that was a great season. I know that he was drafted to those Pittsburgh Penguins, but he really didn't play much in Pittsburgh. So in a sense, I feel like even though he was drafted to Pittsburgh, he played a couple games in Pittsburgh. I feel like he's just a Blue for life. And he is. I think that overall, the Blues trading him away, I get why, right? But I think that them acquiring him back just has been so good for the team. And I know what they say. Oh, personality, doesn't win games. Having a good locker room doesn't win games. Okay, but it helps a lot. So if I were to give Oscar Sundqvist a grade, I would give him a B. And I feel like people are looking at my grades this season and they're being a little bit harsh about it. When I gave Braden Shen a C, was it a C plus? It was something. It just means that he had an average season, okay? I gave very few A's. I gave out all the A's that I was going to give this season. Why is that, you might ask? Because there's only a handful of guys that deserve an A. Binnington, A. Hofer, I think I gave him a B plus. Maybe an A minus. I forget what I gave him. And then it was Neighbors and Thomas. And I think Parayko. But very few A's that I gave out. The reason why I am giving Sonny a B is because I believe, keyword believe, that he is what helped this team get their personality back. I believe that when he's on the ice, he generates energy, and that is so important, especially when you look at, a fourth line type of guy. I think that overall, it was a good trade getting him back. I feel like he played good. I don't see a problem with it. Obviously, there's more, you wish from players, but he generated a lot of plays this season, kept his line mates, on top of everything. I mean, it helps with Nathan Walker, of course, too, but I really was impressed by Sonny. So I'm going to give him a B. Obviously, there's always improvement, right? But he was injured, okay? He got hurt. Surgery. Scary. So relax. It's okay. I'm not worried. I know they said like a 6-month recovery a couple months ago, so he should be back by the start of the upcoming season. Whew. I'm telling you, my grades this year, it's just been tough because I feel like I'm not making anybody happy with them, but it's fine. I'm going to do my favorite Friday segment called Are We Feeling Blue? But first, I'm going to let you know about my friends over at Indeed. There is no I in team, but there is one in Indeed, and that's a hiring platform you need to build yours. When you're hiring, you need Indeed. Indeed is the hiring platform where you can attract, interview, and hire all in one place. Instead of spending hours on multiple job sites searching for candidates with the right skills, Indeed's powerful hiring platform that can help you do it all. They also do an instant match. So over 80% of employers get quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed matches their job description the moment they sponsor a job, according to Indeed Data US. One thing I love about Indeed is that it's so easy to use and you're always going to get great results, okay? So start hiring now with a $75 sponsored job credit to upgrade your job post at Indeed.com/locked-on. Offer good for a limited time. Claim your $75 credit now at Indeed.com/locked-on. Indeed.com/locked-on. Terms and conditions apply. Need a hire? You need Indeed? Indeed, you do. Are we feeling blue? I am feeling I'm feeling blue. Okay, I'm feeling good. Woo-hoo! I think this was the first time I felt good about the St. Louis Blues in quite a while. Why do I feel good about the Blues? Because they're not in the Stanley Cup playoffs. So you might be wondering, Hale, how can you possibly feel good about the St. Louis Blues right now? I'm watching the Blues play in Worlds, okay? We now know who the head coach will be in Drew Bannister. So, of course, there is some optimism. And yes, the draft is coming up. So there is so many good things to look forward to. I get it. Not everyone's happy about Bannister, and I understand, but he is our head coach for now, and you have to accept, you have to embrace it. This is our hockey team where we have a top 5 NHL goalie in the league in Jordan Binnington. So you need to have a little bit of faith that this team is going to make it to the playoffs next season. I went into this season. You know what I said? Hey, they may not make the playoffs or they might be a wild card team. And guess what? They didn't make the playoffs and they would have been a wild card team. But this season, if things go right this offseason, they could easily make the playoffs without being a wild card team. So I am excited and I am optimistic. And you have to be. You really do have to be that way, St. Louis. And I want to know, if you're not optimistic, if you're not at least a little bit hopeful, what's holding you back? Because I'm genuinely curious about why there is maybe some hesitation when it comes to, the Blues and what they could potentially do. I, would have loved Brenda Moore to be our head coach, okay? I'll be the first to admit that, former Blues player, but I think having Bannister and knowing that he's worked with this team last season, he worked with some of these guys on the T-Birds, that he's familiar with them. And I'm sure that they're going to make some trades. They're going to acquire some players this offseason, because there is no way at all that you're going to be able to do absolutely nothing and get away with it. Because that's when somebody might say, hey, Doug, are you okay? And backup might need to be called. So there is a lot to look forward to, a lot of positivity. But the one question I had, and I was talking about this one for weeks, was who will the Blues' head coach be? And that was answered. I was able to watch Joel Hofer in net today. I was able to watch Jordan Binnington in net the other day. I get to see Colton Parayko, Kevin Hayes, Matthew Kessel. I'm feeling good. Listen, it's not playoff hockey, but man, it feels good to just watch any type of Blues hockey, okay? So have a great weekend, St. Louis. I will talk to you on Monday, and hopefully there is some more great hockey that I can watch, which I will be watching and discussing with you that. But again, make sure to watch Worlds. I am telling you, friend to friend, if you miss watching Blues hockey, you're going to really love watching Worlds. I'll talk to you. And like always, let's go Blues.